Hello, and welcome to the webinar, AI-Driven IT Efficiency, Unleashing the Power of Savings and Productivity. My name is Eric Wallace with Argyle, and it's great to have everyone joining us today. I have a few administrative details to share with you, and then I'll turn things over to our esteemed speaker. First, we would like to thank Freshworks for their partnership with today's event. They've been wonderful partners to Argyle, and they're committed to providing you with valuable content and a great overall experience. Thank you again to Freshworks. We appreciate you joining us today. We also welcome you to stay socially connected during today's event. For those of you who are active on social media, please use the hashtag ArgyleDigital and follow us at Argyle Exec Forum. Also, be sure to follow Argyle on LinkedIn for special announcements. I also wanted to take a moment to touch on our content neutrality policy, which we've curated based on the feedback we've received over the years from our members. We have worked closely with our speaking faculty to ensure that you receive a set of balanced and neutral viewpoints during the session today, and we appreciate our members' support of this policy. Finally, and most importantly, we want to hear from you, so please submit all questions that come up during today's event into the chat section of the interface. Following the discussion, we've set aside time for our speakers to weigh in on your questions. Now, without further delay, let's introduce our speaker and begin our presentation. Today, we are joined by David Flesch, who is Vice President, Product Marketing at Freshworks.
Thank you very much for being here today. As mentioned, my name is David Flesch, and I am the Vice President of Product Marketing for our Freshservice solution at Freshworks. And today I'm excited to be here to talk about our State of Workplace Technology survey that we conducted for 2023, where we went out and talked to about 2,000 IT leaders and asked them about what is the state of IT that they're experiencing, and what are the trends that they're seeing, and what is the impact or the opportunity they see with generative AI in their future. So let's get into it. So first and foremost, we know that being an IT leader is not easy. It's not easy, and it never has been. IT leaders are always balancing this demand for digital innovation with the need to manage current systems. And all of that is continuously happening with tight budgets. I've been doing this for a long time, and I've rarely talked to an IT leader that said, oh yes, I'm flush with cash, and I always have the money to go do the things that I want. So managing this balance of driving innovation and managing the current environment is always a challenge. And what's more, what we heard from our survey is that there's been an explosion in complexity. And we know that the IT environment has continued to get increasingly complex as new technologies have evolved. But the pandemic really added a lot of complexity. It added a lot of point solutions that organizations were putting in place to manage new technologies that they were deploying so that they could support the remote and hybrid employees. But on top of that fragmented ecosystem of technology, there's also the legacy systems that they're having to maintain that are expensive, that have been expensive for them to buy, expensive for them to renew, to maintain, and to upgrade. So all of that adds to this complexity and the cost of managing the IT environment. So in our survey of over 2,000 IT professionals, what we really wanted to do was understand what are the challenges that they're facing and how they're going to tackle them. Foremost, it was really about managing this widening array of enterprise software applications. And IT workers reported that there's been a significant increase in the number of applications that's available for use on their work computers in 2023 alone. And enterprise leaders have invested in technology to solve problems that improve business results. And every technology stack we know is built with the best intentions. But that said, understanding the potential of the technology stack to boost efficiencies in IT really starts with an honest assessment of the tech overload that teams are dealing with. And what we're seeing here is that not only is there this overload, there's the cultural challenges that they bring, with close to half of IT pros lamenting that their tech stack is packed with unnecessary features. And according to the feedback we've received from the report, a significant number don't even know how the software got there in the first place. And that's creating a real financial impact on these organizations. We know that whether that impact, that money is coming from staff or technology, something has to give. And among decision makers in IT, and that's director level positions and above, there is a universal consensus that the companies would benefit from paring back on software contracts to simplifying and optimizing what they're doing. And 2/3 of organizations and the IT pros really felt that they would rather cut software than staff. And furthermore, the utility of that tech spend, the benefit, is on decline, with 1/3 of IT pros saying that most of their software isn't helping them do their work. And so what's holding back the change? We know that there's this recognition of these challenges, but why isn't something happening? Well, first, nearly 3/4 of leaders are facing these roadblocks, and they're hesitant to voice their feedback. Their reticence extends to managers and rank and file IT professionals. In part, it's for them just not being asked. Many are saying that their organization never or rarely asks for feedback on the software that they're using. And some don't even speak up because of fear of losing their job. Almost 1/3, if you can believe that, worry that they will be fired if they share negative feedback about the software that their organization is using. And in many companies, there is no clear path for change, with almost half saying there's no proper review process for their tech stack. So at Freshworks, our own CIO has said, and I think this is really a great statement, that the answer to sustainable business growth in today's digital first world isn't more software, it's more efficient software. And so what does more efficient software mean? Well, what it means is balancing the complexity of the software, and that comes from the features and the maintenance and the upgrading of that software with the utility and the usability. What organizations need is to get the maximum utility and usability with the minimal amount of complexity required. That sweet spot is really driving optimal efficiency for the organization. And we know that generative AI is creating new opportunities to drive new efficiencies, new productivity for organizations. In fact, the data is coming in, and we're seeing that organizations, as we know, are already starting to adopt generative AI, doing it at the individual level, doing it at the corporate level. There's new ways to drive efficiencies and productivity. And in fact, we see that many IT pros recognize the benefit of generative AI. We also know that a lot of workers in IT and outside of IT are already beginning to use generative AI to drive productivity in their day-to-day lives. And we also know that generative AI tools can free up the time that people have, especially within IT, to focus on higher level tasks. So what we believe IT organizations really need is intelligent, right-sized service management that's powered by generative AI. And why is this? It's really about being able to manage the IT estate and drive efficiencies there and leverage these new capabilities to not only get the benefits for the IT organization, but showcase the power and ability to manage these new generative AI solutions in your environment. So let's talk about, well, what does right-sized service management really mean? Well, first of all, it means having these AI-powered experiences, and not just for your end users, your employees, but across your IT organization where multiple people can benefit from having AI. It means being able to drive that optimal efficiency, having the capabilities that you need to deliver the services and the business outcomes that your organization needs without having overly complex tools. It's about optimizing that utility and usability for everyone that's interacting with your IT management systems. And it's ultimately about being able to automate your service management beyond the IT organization to bring those same great capabilities that IT is using to deliver services to other organizations within your company. So it could be HR, facilities, finance, etc. Being able to expand and drive consistent experiences has really powerful outcomes. So at Freshworks, our solution is Freshservice, and Freshservice really embraces these capabilities. We're about bringing intuitive, consumer-grade employee services and experiences to your users. We're about providing agility and new levels of productivity through AI for everybody within your organization. And we're about being able to scale with your organization as your needs grow, as your demands change. And what this means is helping you drive to that optimal efficiency when it comes to minimizing complexity and driving utility and usability. And finally, we're really committed to our customer success, making sure that as they're adopting any of our capabilities, whether it's our core IT management solutions or our generative AI capabilities, we're really here to make sure that you are successful. So let's talk about these AI-powered experiences. So Freddy AI is our AI solution. And we've been delivering AI for many years. In 2018, we released our first Freddy AI capabilities. And in fact, in 2021, we actually delivered on GPT-2 capabilities to help our customers drive efficiencies in their organizations. And obviously, with the advent of the generative AI and where we are now with GPT-4 and beyond, there's great opportunities for our customers to be able to have these new experiences and drive these new efficiencies within their organizations. And so we're looking at doing that in a number of ways. First, it's with the employees, and a lot of people obviously think, hey, driving these generative AI capabilities and creating these experiences for employees makes a lot of sense, and it really does, right? With generative AI, we're able to provide more conversational experiences, get away from that old format of forms and submitting, very formalized requests, whether it's through email or going onto a portal. Now, a user can go in on the channel of their choice and have a conversation with a bot, and that bot can lead them to a solution. And that solution is going to be able to drive down the number of tickets that are going to your service desk and be able to solve those kind of remedial, mundane, common questions that come into the organization. And that can have a real benefit on your IT staff and IT leaders. We also see the use of generative AI for those IT agents. So not only are we reducing the number of tickets that are coming into them, allowing them to focus on more meaningful work, we're also aiding them so that when they are engaging, they're able to have the information they need available when they need it, where they need it, and in context. It's giving them the tools to be more productive and be able to provide more consistent services, which is something that we hear from a lot of IT leaders. And we know that managing, especially the frontline IT staff, can be very challenging, that there's a lot of turnover there, and there's a lot of fluctuation in consistency of service. And so generative AI creates that opportunity to, one, help reduce that turnover, and two, even when you have new team members, help them drive, again, more consistent levels of service. And then third here, what we see is really an opportunity for IT leaders to be able to benefit from generative AI. And IT leaders and decision makers, what they really need is to be able to gain new insights into the performance of the organization and be able to do that quickly and efficiently. And so with generative AI, we see a great opportunity here to have conversational interactions with these leaders into the rich data set within their environment so that they can find things like, hey, what is driving the highest number of incidents or tickets within my organization? Where can I go to drive new levels of efficiencies? If I need to create new knowledge articles so that I can actually help train my AI to be more efficient, where should those new articles come from? And by the way, turn that AI into a tool to not only identify the need, but actually create the new content that's required to drive those benefits. So for AI leaders, generative AI is creating this opportunity to drive new insights and to take action on those insights to drive real benefits. So at Freshworks, we deliver all of this on our secure, scalable, and compliant cloud platform. We are a cloud-first company. We have been doing this since day one, and we deliver across our suite of capabilities from customer service, sales and marketing, and into our great Freshservice IT management solution. And again, what we're able to deliver here is this ability to manage the IT estate, your service management, your operations management, your asset management, and be able to manage your IT projects so that you can get all of these key components of managing your organization under control, driving that optimal efficiency, and then being able to extend on that same platform, leveraging the same capabilities into the services into your other teams. Again, HR, finance, facilities. And the benefit is driving those delightful experiences for your employees. They're consistent. They don't have to go to multiple portals to try to find the information they need to get their jobs done. And what that does is it drives better employee engagement and it increases the productivity of your employees and your teams. And what we see here is really great results from our customers. And this is really exciting for me to be able to see and to be able to share. And the way that we know that is a number of ways. One is we've done this great survey and found this information. We stay in very constant touch with our customers. One of the things that we've been able to do is every year we run our Freshservice Benchmarks report where we look at the data, the metadata from our customers, and we can actually see the kind of improvements that they're able to leverage within their organization. So real gains that our customers are getting based on data. The other thing that we do is we work with third parties like Forrester to go out and talk to our customers and find out about the benefits, the advantages that they're receiving by leveraging Freshservice in their environments. So let's talk about some of these. So first and foremost, our customers are seeing significant gains in their agent productivity. This is through the use of virtual agents, driving down those tickets to the call center, and providing their agents with the tools that they need to just be able to do their jobs more efficiently. We're seeing our customers being able to drive more engaging employee experiences, making it possible for employees to be able to solve problems on their own without having to actually contact a person. And this is driving 50% reductions, near 50% reductions into these organizations. And again, powered by virtual agents that are enabled by AI. Our customers are also seeing significant return on investment. They're seeing this return on investment by retiring legacy tools that were complicated and hard to manage and expensive to own, and being able to move to Freshservice and take advantage of driving not only a consolidated IT management experience, but a consolidated service management experience across their organizations. So again, driving real return on investment and driving that in a very fast time. And also a sustainable return on investment, which is really critical. And then last but not least, we're seeing that as our customers have been able to drive these first three benefits, it's giving them more time and more and freeing up their staff to go do new tasks, new work that is aligned with the business drivers, really driving new levels of business outcomes. And that's shown in one way through increased business satisfaction with the IT organization, which is something that all IT leaders are trying to achieve. And of course, we'd love to hear back from our customers. And here's a great quote from the Office of Students, or Office for Students in the UK. And their IT leader deployed our generative AI solution to their customer base or their employee base. And what they saw was really amazing. They saw significant increases in efficiencies. They saw significant increases in the use of these virtual agents and the AI capabilities. And what they didn't see was any negative feedback from that, which is fantastic. And that a big big part of that is the way that they deployed that within their organization, ensuring that they were going to be successful, that their employees understood what was coming and were able to actually use these new virtual agents in a way that was going to drive value. They deployed these new capabilities through MS Teams, so their employees are able to access these virtual agents, to be able to access these services through the channel that they're in the most. They don't have to go to a portal. They don't have to go to a specific IT system. They're able to actually leverage the channels through MS Teams that they're in all of the time, making it very easy for them to be able to get the services they need without having to task switch out of that environment of choice. And we see that this is something that is becoming increasingly common. We know that generationally, the need and the way that people want to get support has changed. But we know that virtual agents powered by generative AI are actually driving a new level of adoption. We know that the Gen X and the millennials really want to be able to have those consumer-like self-service experiences where they can go out and solve problems on their own. But what we're also seeing is that older employees that have traditionally gone to email and phone services are now starting to embrace these new virtual agents and these new self-service experience because generative AI is able to give them a much better experience. So as we wrap up, let's just talk about the few things that we've learned here. First of all, from the survey, we know that IT organizations, IT leaders are dealing with this complex technology landscape and that they're really looking to optimize efficiencies. But that can be a real challenge for them. And that's both a cultural challenge and an operational challenge. We also see that generative AI is creating significant new opportunities to drive better experiences, new levels of productivity, and new types of ways to drive insights and action for all leaders and all employees within the organization. So with that, I thank you very much for your time. I hope this has been informative for you. As I've shown here, we've got great insights from customers, from the IT leaders at large, and we really hope that this will help you as you're navigating this complexity and as you're looking at how to deploy generative AI within your organization to get those real benefits.
Thank you, David, for that insightful session. This concludes today's webinar, and I want to thank everyone for joining us today for this fantastic virtual event, and thank you again to our partner, Freshworks, and enjoy the rest of your day.